mess up your connection with the Lord. Whatever they do when they walk, that's their walk. Focus on yours, because this is a personal thing. We have to realize that we need the Lord. And once we realize that, we can move on. We can walk on and press on. I think they used to say, I gotta keep pressing on. I'm pressing on. Yeah, that's what it is. I'm pressing on. So this morning, I don't know what happened to Apostle, but
Pam said, y'all know. She said, y'all, you know I can't miss y'all showing out.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. You know, I don't know. I've been hot all morning. The Lord must be getting ready to do something awesome up in here today.
Yes. You gotta wonder where I'm at up here. I just was getting some things situated together. We thank God for another first Sunday. I bless God that He has allowed us. Thank God for all that has taken place. Thank God for the teaching this morning. Thank God for the illustration. I'm hoping that y'all got it. I know some of y'all was wondering what was going on. The numbers were going up and down. I'm glad I don't worry about numbers, because God make numbers count. But I thank God for those of you that did join, those of you that were with us. Again, we welcome all of you this morning to our morning broadcast. I'm not going to be long. We thank God for these 6 days that He has graciously given us. And I thank God because, see, y'all don't understand. I mean, each time in my life that God have allowed certain things to happen and transitions to take place and sickness to come in my body or what have you, you know, when I tell you I'm ecstatic, I was ecstatic because, you know, they put me under and I was half dead when they put me under to do the surgery, and came up out of the surgery and things happened and didn't know what happened, and yet still saying that I still have the same thing that they were supposed to have prepared to stop it from happening. It's still going on, but yet in the process of that, there were some other things that took place, and the doctor don't even want to admit the fact that what he thought he was going to be able to fix, he couldn't fix. And I don't know if it's because he bothered because he really thought he was, but at the end of the day, God knows what He's doing, because there's a reason why He didn't allow it to happen. There's a purpose, because from what I found out in my life, the thing that I have, that's my thorn in my flesh. That's what I found to be the thing that keep me with God. I said all that to say this because when you look at the fact that, you know, God has a reason for doing what He did, and the fact that we always seem to want to wake up Jesus when problems are bad, we ought to learn how to wake Him up when things are going good. Amen. My great grandmother always said the best time to praise God is when everything is going good, because when all hell break loose, your mind ain't on God, your mind ain't on Christ, your mind ain't on the Holy Ghost. You ain't thinking about saying a prayer, you ain't thinking about praising God, you ain't thinking about dancing, you ain't thinking about shouting, you're moaning, you're groaning, you're complaining, you're fussing and arguing, you're bickering and everything else, because you're wondering why in the world is all of these things going on. So the best time to do it is to give it while it's there. David said, I put my prayers in lay away. David started praising God when everything was going good, because he knew the day was going to come when it was going to be too hard for him to praise God. Because y'all remember, David had a child that was sick unto death, and David, all he could do was pray and pray and pray and pray. And the funny thing was, he was in sackcloth and ashes. He found himself anointing his head, seeking God, asking God to heal the child. But when the child died, he got up, he took a bath, he anointed his head with oil, and he started shouting and dancing. And the folk that was around him wanted to know, boy, what's wrong with you, King? Something ain't right, because you was crying, you were moaning, you were groaning, you were sorrowful. And now that the child dead, you done got to be excited. He said, because one thing I recognize, that my child can't come to me, but I can go to my child. Amen. See, that's what somebody should have been shouting. Amen. Amen. Because at the end of the day, when you look at all of the things that's going on, it's hard when you lose some things. It's hard when a child is no longer on this side and you have been attached to it. And I understand to a degree, not all the way, but I understand to a degree with a woman, because there's an attachment between her and her child, and the emotional distraught that comes with the fact that a part of her has died. They don't look at the fact that there's an emotional attachment between the man and the child, because the man didn't carry the child, but it was his seed, it was a part of him that died as well. But the woman had most of the attachment, because however long it was that she carried the child, she felt that more of her had died, but both of them died at the same time. Come on, y'all. Can I tell you? I'm going to tell you where I'm going with it, because every time we decide to do something that's not pleasing to God, there's a part of God that died when we say, oh,
my Lord. My
Did y'all
Lord.
catch that?
Yes. Yes.
So I thank God for this morning. And as she talked about Jesus, and he said, let's go on to the other side. And while they were getting ready to go to the other side, after feeding the 5,000, after feeding the 4,000, and they got themselves into a ship, and Jesus went into the hinder part of the ship, and he laid on the pillow, he laid on the sandbags that was in the back of the ship, and he decided to go to sleep because he was tired, and he was weary, and he was just like you and I. He had been doing all the work. He got 12 men with him, and yet he had to do all the work by himself.
Come on.
You know, it's sad that we require the leader to do all the work, and he or she, they have all these ministers with them, but yet there's always a crook in the process. There's always somebody that think they can do it better. You know, there's always a Judas and a Peter. Come on, y'all. There always them undercovers, and then there them doubters like Thomas. Well, then there goes like James and John. They figure to just shut them all down, cut them all up, kill everybody. Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it. Y'all wonder where I'm going now. And the man was tired. He just was weary, and he was sleeping. And, you know, he gave them everything they needed. And you can teach some folk everything. You can show them everything. You can do it with your own children. But they always look for you to always do it. And if you're doing everything for them, they'll never know how to stand on their own.
That's it.
Come on, y'all need y'all to get it. We're going to the message in a second, because we're going to come out of Matthew chapter 14 and Luke chapter 19. And I'm going to show you where we're going. I'm going to show you how all this going to tie together. You saw the illustration of the young man and how the preacher laid here like he was asleep on a pillow. And he really was about to go to sleep. And if y'all ain't catch it, the boy was half asleep while he was there. He really mimicked how Jesus was. And Jesus was fast asleep in the back part of the boat. They were getting into the midst of the sea. And the sad part here, as long as everything going good, all y'all fine.
Exactly.
Ain't nobody praying to God. Your prayer done changed. Your praise done changed. Your attitude done changed. You done shifted everything you're doing. You ain't no longer saying I'm blessed and highly favored. All of that done shifted.
Come on.
Come on, y'all. I'm going to get y'all there in a minute. I'm almost there. If y'all ain't catch it, I came in with mine. If you ain't come with yours and you thought it was down, see, God had to let you see how the storm is. He had to let you recognize, because see, full service started and as it was getting ready to get started. I want you to look out the window, evangelist. The wind that seemed to calm down. The wind that seemed to sit there. And it don't seem to be blowing as hard as it was while you was up and illustrating the lesson. And now it seemed like Jesus had walked in the boat.
Come on.
Everything to calm down, because the young man got up when you said it was time, because he was ready to get up. He said, that's how we tend to do it. We call him and they get up. And if we don't know what to do, Holy Ghost ready to move on your behalf, and you go do it on your own.
Come on.
He had already told you what direction to go, and you go in the other direction. He done told you who to go to, but you went to the one that you think gonna give it to you, because that's something that you can get out of the process. So it's what you gonna get to fulfill you, that you go to the one that you want to go to, because you ain't going to the other, because the only thing you gonna get is the thing that satisfies the need of what God has provided, but you want to need provided for yourself as well, not just the need provided for your situation.
Oh my God.
Can I help y'all this morning? I told you we're gonna talk about come. We're going to talk about cry. But before we can get there, y'all need to wake him up. Y'all heard what he said. My daddy preached a message some years ago before God gave him rest and waiting on him to come back. Before Jesus said, take your rest, bow. He preached a message while we was in Moss Point, Mississippi. And he preached a message called He Was Asleep for a Reason. And he preached a message out there in Picayune, Mississippi. And then he preached it when we was in another place in Mississippi, way back in the woods. We had to go 2 miles in the woods. And while he was at a little church called Sweet Beulah Baptist Church in Mississippi, we was out there in the woods. He preached it again. And the message simply said he was asleep for a reason. And see, sometimes Jesus sleeping for a reason, because he done gave you the necessary tools. You know how to pray.
Come on.
He done taught you how to handle angry folk. He done taught you how to deal with bitterness and anxiety. You right, you ain't got to take the pills all the time. See, you just want the pill to say that you got the pill so that you ain't got to deal with the situation, because you really don't want to face it.
Amen.
So you take the pill so the pill will put you to sleep. But what Jesus does, he don't allow the pill to put you to sleep. Then some of y'all want to take the pill to try to take you out of here, and all it does is upset your stomach. Y'all need y'all to get it.
And you don't even get cloud 9 off that pill.
Well, you don't not only get cloud 9, but he calls you to be spinning out of control, or so much out of control you really ain't out of control, because you find yourself doing things that you should have been doing that you never did, and you're trying to figure out why you're doing it when the pill should have had you resting when you ain't resting at all. So he allowed the restlessness that you have to now become expended energy in areas that it need to be in. Oh, y'all ought to pray with me. Y'all ain't gonna like this morning. I really don't care. I don't care who don't like me. I really don't care, because see, I told you we're gonna deal with depression. I told you we're gonna deal with anxiety. I told you we're gonna deal with healing. Told you we're gonna deal with salvation. Told you we were gonna deal with deliverance. Because see, some of you, I need you to be quiet just for a minute. Preacher, slow down. Pump your brakes. Because see, you need some deliverance too. Because see, all of us, we want God to do all these things, but we don't want to walk in it. We want to show forth that the Lord done did it, but we don't want to walk in it. We still want to walk around to the world because we concerned we ain't going to get our money if the Lord done healed us. If God meant for you to get it, they know the test said that it's there, but God still got other things that need to be done, but God needs to show forth that he's still healing this day and time, that the hand of Jesus still touched. You know, you holler, he touched me. And see you hollering that, but did he really touch you? Did you just did it around the right people because you didn't want nobody to know that the Lord really healed your body? But now you got to take a pill to go to sleep. You got to take a pill to get up. You got to take a pill to help you for this. You got to take a pill to help you for that. You got a pill for arthritis. Got a pill for a headache. Got a pill for a belly. Got a pill for a toe ache. Got a pill for this and that and the third. But you can't even get up and trust God. Come on, y'all. So look at what she did. She illustrated to you your winds and your waves, and all of this stuff is beating, and you're traveling down the roads of life, and your lifeboat is now filling with water. Hardship. Bad breakups. Child that went to jail. Child that got killed. Wife that died. Husband that died. Mama died. Daddy died. Bad accident. Child got shot in the head because they was in a place that they had no business being. Come on, y'all. Baby done swallowed something because you didn't really clean the floor up all the way, or they found something in this. Come on, I need y'all to get it. Amen. Look out, y'all. You sitting at home and drive-by shooting took place. Come on, y'all need y'all to get it. Using things that are life that's going on. Driving down the highway and drunk driver decide to drive down the wrong side of the road while you going in the right direction, head-on collision, and you live but your child died. Come on, y'all need y'all to get it. Why am I saying that? Because you wondering where God was. He was there all the time. He spared you, but he wrapped his arms around you. But what you didn't pay attention to, that just before the accident, God covered both of y'all, and he allowed the spirit of the child to be taken so that when the accident happened, they didn't feel nothing at all. Because he had already removed them from the shell that they were in so that they didn't feel the pain. That's going to help somebody right there. That just should have delivered somebody right there. You wondering where he was at? He had already dispatched his angel to make sure that when death got ready to come, he had already sent Raphael to send the healing that was needed, and the transport angel now, I need y'all to get it. He was asleep for a reason. He woke up, and angrily he said, "Oh, ye of little faith." Where your faith at? You got faith as long as everything going good, water not trouble. You ain't got no high seas, 10-foot seas, 30-foot seas. When I worked offshore and had to get on the workboat, we was in 10-foot and 30-foot seas, and that means the water bring you up high and the water drop from under you and the boat fall back down on the water. Wow. Come on, somebody, let me help y'all understand. That's what that means. It means the wave leave you. It'll bring you up and the wave leave, and then you crash back down on the rest of the water. That has a lot to do with this morning, because that's what happened, because we get lifted up high. And all of a sudden the water just leaves and it's not there. And you're falling down and you crash real hard. Everything shook out of place. You get seasick. And some of y'all just life sick. Go to church. But that's right, some of y'all only go to church online. You don't show up at nobody's church house. You don't go to nobody's house because you feel as long as it's online, I can catch it and I'm good. I don't need to be in the building. Then there are those that have said, I need to be there. I wish I was there. I'm sorry that I can't get there. I'm trying to find a way to get there. And then others got means of getting there and won't go at all, won't give God a hallelujah, but got the nerve to call the men in God and beg for a prayer. Come on, y'all. Y'all get it. So Matthew chapter 14, beginning at verse 27, because when you look at it, Jesus woke up, and after he said, "Oh, ye of little faith," he spoke to the wind and the waves, and he said, "Peace, be still." Yeah, your Bible sitting on the table. When he simply said it and he raised his hand, he rebuked the wind, and the wind just hushed up. It stopped. It stopped blowing. He rebuked the waves, and the waves, they settled down like a sheet. The reason why he said it because he had empowered his disciples. Those of you that are watching online, if you read the comments that I put, the sad part is that Christ put in us, God allowed us, and the teachers have taught us. And you go into Bible class every week, watching somebody Bible class online, the somebody teaching series. How much of the lessons that you have learned and listened at that you have really applied to your life? Can I help y'all? Been through 12 years of school. Some of y'all been through 8 years of college. Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it. How much of the lessons have you really learned and the precepts that you have really kept, that you have really applied, that suggests that you know what you're doing when you find yourself in adverse situations, and adversity now has arisen because they have taught you how to deal with the storm. See, when you're really paying attention, when Jesus was telling you how to deal with these situations and these circumstances and the unlovable folk, ungrateful folk, unjust folk, come on, y'all, how to be merciful. Well, when you get hungry, when you're in despair, come on, y'all, need y'all to get it. When the water begin to fill your bowl, you have the power. He said, listen, remember, I told Adam in the beginning, I gave him dominion over the fish of the sea. In other words, that means that even the water itself, when it began to get restless, if he understood that the words of his mouth are just as mine, sit down and be still.
Dang, Pastor, come on, y'all. Need y'all to get it off here pretty good. Dang, Pastor, your foot all up in my tail.
Oh, Lord. Well, my father said he'd take 15 bullets to take it out. Look at the text that she used in Mark. And Jesus going over the Sea of Gennesaret, the Sea of Tiberias, the Sea of Galilee. Had 3 different names depending on the port that they came from. And then it was the sea. You understand? And he crossing over after feeding them. And when you look at what's going on in the Gospel of Matthew, and he departing, and he giving them something to eat, and he broke bread, and he crossing over the sea, and here it is, he told them, go to the other side, I'm going to meet you there. And here it is at midnight, he coming on the sea, walking in the 4th watch, and here it is in the 4th watch, and they thought they saw a ghost. When they realized that it wasn't a ghost, here it is, and said, but straightway Jesus spake unto them, saying, be of good cheer, it is I. He said, be not afraid. You know, the sad part is that Jesus will send things and send images to us. And when he comes to us himself and show him himself unto us, we become afraid because we don't recognize who he is. And we become afraid of it because our soul can't handle the face of God. It cannot handle the face of Christ. So now he sent the image of our mama, and we swear that our mama came. Come on. Let me help y'all today. I'm about to mess y'all preachers up that's telling folk, yeah, that's your mama that came. Now what God did, he sent an image to get you to be able to be comfortable, to be able to hear what he had to say. And you heard the voice of your mama, your daddy, your son, your daughter, your niece, your nephew, your grandmother, your grandfather, because you wouldn't have been able to handle the voice of God. So he had to give a voice, he had to give an image that you would be able to handle. So Jesus said, be of good cheer, it is I. Ain't no need for you to be afraid. And here what some of y'all is like the hook mouth apostle. Y'all just like Peter, verse 28 of the 14th chapter. And Peter answered and said unto him, he said, Lord, if it be thou bid me to come on the water. And I'm going to stop at the first 4 words in verse number 29. And he said, come. Go to Luke chapter number 19. Well, I want to go down to
around verse number 40. Here it is. He getting ready to make his triumphal entry into Jerusalem. And as he get ready to make his triumphal entry into Jerusalem, it's sad that everybody, they know how to exclaim. And they go back to what she talked about in Mark chapter 4 and how he was crossing over the sea and he was sleeping here in Matthew chapter 14. He done told him go before him after feeding the 5,000 and he come walking on the water. And when he come on the water, they thought that they saw a ghost because he defied the elements and he is the water and the elements of what the water was. And just as though it was ground and a sheet of ground, he walked on something that was not solid but was a liquid and did not sink. Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it. And look at the text. It says that Peter, when he realized and when they heard the voice of Jesus, when you hear that still quiet voice and that familiar voice and that voice that will soothe you and calm you, you settle down real quick. And then if you really don't believe it, and there's always going to be one around that don't believe it, come on. That's why Peter said, look, I tell you what, I recognize your face and I recognize your stance and your body language, but I hear your voice and it sounds like you. But you know what? You want to prove it to me even further? Oh, we got somebody that want God to prove who he is. No, we got somebody want the preacher to prove who they are. Come on. If you really got the gift to be able, you really the apostle of God, you really the bishop of God, you really can do this, that, and the third. Women, y'all know how to put it on a man and say, well, if you claim you can do what you say, then prove it to me. Come on, y'all brothers, y'all do the same thing to a woman. Children now have fancied the same thing. Now they'll try to make their mother and father prove what it is they said they're going to do just to get what they want. Yes. So look at the text. It says that he said, if it be you. Matthew chapter 14. Starting at verse 27, going down to verse 29, and Jesus said, okay, well, Peter, since your mouth done spoke it, he said, come. When you read further after the word come, after the fourth word in the text of the first three words, Jesus said, period, come, period, and then Peter stepped out the boat, stepped on the water, stepped out on faith, looking at Christ, forgot that it was water, forgot that it was not something that was solid, stepped out on a liquid that became immediately a solid because his faith solidified what should have caused him to immediately sink. Amen. Let me help y'all right there for those that really need a word. See, you got to remember that your faith will cause your sinking situation to become solid when you put your eyes on Jesus and Jesus said, here I am, come. Yes. Somebody said, come. Yes. Yes. Somebody said, yes. 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 That's how all the prayer. Let me help y'all understand. I ain't got nothing but my Bible. So ain't nothing written down. This coming straight from heaven. I want you to understand because I love it when God give it straight from on high, from around the throne. Because when you look at the text, he had just finished doing some work. And the work of God still was not done. And yet he wanted them to understand that was going to come a time where you're going to find yourself in some sinking situation. Somebody's sinking in despair right now. Somebody got the winds of life blowing in them and their boat is starting to sink because you're taking on a whole lot. Yeah. You left from where the comfort of God had you, but you didn't like the present situation because it was not something you were used to. It was not a situation that was common to you. And you didn't like the atmosphere that was there because you were not used to dealing with the manner of how the house was handled, how the issues were dealt with, how folk dealt with their problems, and so on and so forth. And you got up and left. Well, somebody gonna get it this morning. This ain't for nobody in particular, but this is for everybody that's listening because at some point in time, some of us done the same thing. Woo! Got out the boat. Left out the water. Went to another land. Found ourselves in perilous situation because it was familiar ground. Amen. When you got on familiar ground, you thought the folk that loved you because they begged you and convinced you without telling you to come back, they made you run back without telling you to come back. And when you went back, you found out that they hated that you was back. My Lord. I'm going to sip my coffee. Somebody catch it. My Lord, help us, Jesus. Help us. Then while you were back, they bashed.
My Lord.
Both continued to sink. You didn't realize you was already taking on water before you left. But you was able to keep the water out. You was able to manage the plugs that kept trying to pop out because life was trying to sink you.
Well, yes.
Are y'all going to pray with me?
Yes.
Oh, I'm getting almost to the end now because we're talking about come. See, Jesus been telling us to come from the beginning.
Yes.
None of y'all don't understand the authority that God gave you, and you operate out of what is not divine authority. You just want natural authority, and the reason why your life is out of whack because you haven't aligned yourself back with the authority of God. You want your authority, you want your way, you want things how you believe it ought to be done, but you want to line them up with the way God says so God can show you how to naturally align them. Uh-oh. Y'all ain't got to get quiet on me now. Y'all hung up on me just now. Because see, God's ways now don't line up with your ways. And you just said in your teaching is that his ways are higher than our ways. And because they are, they mean they don't line up with how we do things and how we think and the manner in which we think. Because the way we think means we going to control everything. You got to get out of your control and allow God to lead you, baby. Mm-hmm. Look at the text. Luke chapter 19. Here it is, Jesus getting ready to go in to the city. Getting ready to make his triumphal entry into Jerusalem. Look at the foregoing text before you get to verse number 40. Start around verse number 20, somewhere in there. He preparing, and he done told the disciples, go over against the city. The man got a she-ass and a young coat tied and tell him that the master have need. Y'all, look at the text. Check it out, go before it and you'll see it. Just finished eating the Passover with it. Getting ready to go into the city. Getting ready to make the entry to let him know that he is the Messiah, the promised Messiah, the one that had been spoken of by Isaiah or by Isaiah. One that had been talked about by Jeremiah, the one that Moses said that would be raised and come up from among their people. Are y'all going to pray with me? Don't hang up on me now. Here now Jesus getting ready to make his entry in to Jerusalem so he can let them know I am fulfilling this day in your sight. I am he that would come in the name of the Lord. Here's the sad part. Anytime somebody come with the word of the Lord that's real, they ain't coming for $1. They ain't coming to beg you for $1. They ain't dogging you because you ain't got enough dollars to pay them for the word that they said the Lord gave. Because if the Lord gave the word, then the Lord will feed what they ain't got.
Come on, come on.
Well, somebody should have caught that because the sad part is that if God gave the word, then God will fulfill the need and he will finish off the task that the ministry may have not have had. And because the ministry may have not have had enough, God may have allowed them not to have it to see if you would still deliver it in the same fashion because he gave it.
Boy, you better say it. You better say it. Let me help you understand
because see the sad part is we spend all this time with our doctrines and we spend all the time doing all of the research so that we can sound good and we can deliver sound profound prolific messages and give oratory dissertations that sound good to the people and we give all great performances in order to now get back the booty, the spoil.
Well,
come on y'all. The honorariums.
Y'all
need y'all to get it.
Come on,
yeah, the workman is worthy of his hire. I understand that. But not the ox that tread out the corn. Understand that. If all you doing is going and working for $1, or you really working for the Lord?
Amen.
Jesus said, go in my vineyard. Get to the verse there. We're going to get there in a minute where Jesus talked about crying in a minute. I need to help you understand it because talk about coming. Because see, when you come, there are some things that you got to give up. There's some baggage that you got to leave behind. But some of y'all came to Jesus but wanted to bring all your baggage with you. You wanted to bring all your past problems, but you didn't want to leave them with him when you came because when he said, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, I give you rest. You didn't want to rest from your aggravated, agitated situations that you had with your farmer. You wanted to keep it on while you still receive the blessings of the Lord. Oh, y'all gonna pray with me now? Don't hang up on me now. See, you wanted to go into the new relationship, but you didn't want to leave the old relationship out. And you wondered why the present relationship is going through like it is, because all you blaming is the present person on it, but you didn't realize you the reason why it has influenced some of the things that are there.
Oh, Lord.
Y'all gonna pray with me? You came. You walked. You stepped out. You brought. But you didn't leave nothing behind. Yeah. You didn't start nothing over in your mind and in your heart. Your mouth said it, but your actions still carried on in the same manners as you did prior to starting a new relationship. You left one ministry with the same attitude, came in trying to act as though you didn't have that mannerism and that characteristic about yourself. Then for long, it showed up.
Well,
y'all gonna pray with me? Or you did everything you could to disguise and not discipline it, because see, we do a lot of disguising that we call discipline. We do a lot of disguising that we call control. But all it takes is the right things, not triggers, but the right things that create by us that we say the other one triggered us. Are y'all gonna pray with me? I'm telling y'all, that coming hot off the press.
Tell the story, Pastor.
They saw it. He came. They were wondering. Here Jesus and gave you 3 weeks ago, some of y'all 2 months ago, him walking on the waters of your life, walking on your heartache, walking on your bad emotional distraught, walking on your mental anguish, and walking on your heartache of pain for previous relationship, bad job, not getting a job, not having enough money, having a heartache from being cheated on in all kinds of ways. Are y'all gonna pray with me?
Whoa.
From your church here. Need y'all to help me now. Being depressed, being abused, verbally, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, being ostracized, as well as being criticized for everything that you did to try to make the shift and changes, and yet he came walking on your walk. He started showing you while you kept telling him about them. Every time you told him about them, he mirrored what it was you were, what it was you were doing. And while mirroring it, he showed you how to separate and fix what you were doing. And it would cause, and on the other side of the mirror, he was showing that when you would begin to adjust and change what you were doing to shift in who you really were, it showed the change in the up. Oh, I need somebody to get it.
Dang, God word hurts. Dang,
can I help y'all today?
Dang, my butt hurts.
I'm trying to get you because, see, when we came and he said, come, because we want to get out of the boat that we in. We want to get out of the situation we in. We want to get out of the ship we in. We want to get out of the job, out of the relationship, out of the house. Come on, y'all.
Yeah.
You done made the agreement and you want to break the agreement and you want to make sure you ain't got no backlash and you ain't got no creditors coming up, and you're trying to find a way to go around the system for the system to work for you. God done showed you, but you still ain't blessing him. You're still running your mouth the wrong way. So look at the text. Peter got out of the water, and instead of you blessing God, now you're looking back to the other disciples saying, look at me, y'all. Check me out. Look what I got.
Sure enough.
Told y'all I can do it. Told y'all he liked me best. John, I know he called you his favorite. John had been put in the trial to say that he was the sacrificial lamb. Now he had to prove both he was king and sacrifice. Need y'all to get ready to go home, because this first Sunday, being the first Sunday, the blood and the bread on the table. And I need us to understand that, because in the process of that, all these things been done for you, and he still say, come.
Amen.
In order to come see somebody trying to shut your mouth. Some trying to make you be quiet. Somebody telling you don't take all that. Why you got to go back? Why are you trying to go down there? Why you went up there on the other day? Why you want to be bothered with there? Do you not know they talk about this and that and the third? Do you not know they address this issue? They address that issue? Come on, y'all. I don't know how God. They want to address, dealing with folk that want to run around and sleep in other beds and play around and having wrong thoughts. They want to deal with folk that deal with alcoholism, taking a taste every now and then. Because see, some folk like to get in your business and get in your inner circle. They have reasons why they can say that they ain't coming to God's house. Oh, I need y'all to help me pray. Now, I feel pretty good because the text going to say that Jesus said that you telling these here to shut up when you get down to verse 40. He said, if they don't cry, then the very rocks will cry out. The message topic simply is come, now cry. Now that you came, you ought to make your noise. You ought to say, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. You see the man and woman of God coming, you ought to recognize that their flesh is not worthy, but God have deemed them worthy because he died for them.
That's it.
They might not have the power, but because God chose them and set them aside, then the God in them and the Spirit of God that speak through them got a word for me.
Yes.
Or I recognize that they might be a liar, was a habitual liar. I recognize that they might been a whore, they might been a play around, and they might have a little play left in them, and I recognize it. But if they submit to God, I'm not worried about what their flesh might be able to do, but I'm worried about whether or not can I hear the voice of God. Oh, y'all ought to pray with me right there. What makes me worthy is the fact that he said, you didn't choose me,
right?
But I chose you. Y'all gonna pray with me?
Yes.
And that's why he told Peter, he said, since you don't really want to believe that in my voice, you really don't want to believe that you see me, then boy, go on and come. And see, that's what happened when y'all heard the word of the Lord. That's why Paul said, faith cometh by hearing.
Yes.
You heard the word of the Lord. And because you heard the word of God, that's what made you come.
Oh, he should have started. Come on.
Are y'all gonna pray with me in this place?
Come on,
and in the beginning, when y'all all came, and that includes myself, we all came and we all had a praise on our lips. We all got to shouting and bucking and giving God glory.
Yes.
But then the weight came. Then burdens came. Then problems came. And it seemed like it was hard to bear. And we forgot how to still dance with the weight of the world on our shoulders. We forgot how to shake it all off and still glorify God. See, we need to learn how to, when we come, to still cry. And I'm going to stop right there because somebody needs to know how to still cry when you come. And see, somebody trying to steal your voice. Somebody trying to tell you to be quiet. They tried to do that with blind Bartimaeus and his daddy while they was on the wayside on the road. Jesus was on his way to Jerusalem, heading in to begin to make his triumphal entry into Jerusalem. And they tried to make blind Bartimaeus be quiet. They tried to shut him up. And preachers are trying to shut up folk in the church. And preachers, they have their big old programs. And while they televise that the Holy Spirit really moving, they trying to tell folk, be quiet, shut up. You're messing up what I'm doing. If God is doing it, preacher, shut up.
Amen.
Let the Holy Ghost do his work.
Yes.
You don't want the world to see the Spirit of God moving, but you want the world to see if something look demonic. You want them to see that. Now cry. Why you say now cry? See, your cry got some distinctive noises that it ought to make. First noise it ought to make is for the Lord to hear you say, save me. The next noise it ought to make the noise that say, I praise thee. Third noise it ought to make is saying that I bless thee. Final noise that it ought to make, the fourth noise it ought to say is that I trust thee. Y'all gonna pray with me?
Yes.
So you ought to come then you ought to cry.
Yes.
You ought not to let nobody steal your voice.
Uh-huh.
Your cry ought to be louder when everything is going well. That way, when you start going through, some of it you won't even recognize.
Amen.
Then when you do recognize it, by the time you realize it, you so far up the road, when you look back, you don't realize that things had broke down. Things had went wrong. People had dropped off. Folk had cussed you out. Folk tried to shoot you. You got holes all around.
Uh-huh.
Yet you standing there and not one hole in you. So we offer Jesus to you today. Look at the text from Mark to Matthew to Luke. Notice how she started off in Mark. Then we jumped back over to Matthew. Then we jumped into Luke. And I understand it's Matthew, Mark, and Luke, but notice how God did it, because some of y'all need to wake him up first. So in order for you to get him to come, you got to wake him up. He's been there all the time. He's waiting for you to open your mouth and cry out. But before you can cry, you got to recognize and know who he is. But if you don't really know who he is and you've heard of him, you ought to begin to bless his name and recognize the reason why he came to town.
Yes.
See, he shouldn't just be coming down to set up shop to take the money out of your pocket. He should be coming to show you that when you bless God, now this is how you manage what God gave you so that you maximize on what you got, to show you how to build a residual with the rest that God left in your hands.
Amen. Amen.
That's what a good leader does. Shows you how to give God his tithe out of obedience, how to make the sacrifice and give an offering. And when you sow the seed comes from the harvest that you got because you gave what God required you to give. Then it teaches you how to manage what you have.
Amen.
You don't believe it? Preachers, go back and look at it, because that's what God had us to do from the beginning. That's what God had Moses to do from the beginning, because the farmer knew how to manage his seeds and manage his harvest to make sure there was always seed for the sower. Mm-hmm. And then those that had a bad harvest, he had enough to give and enough to spare. Mm-hmm. So we offer Jesus to you today. Jesus still said, come unto me, all you that labor and heavy labor, and I'll give you rest. So if you out there today, I don't care where you at. I don't care who you are. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what your condition is. See, we don't want to go places where it don't look like they got a whole lot, where it don't look like they're going nowhere, where it don't look like they have anything, where it don't look like the church have a whole lot of folk. We don't think that church have nothing to offer us. But can I tell you, the thing that you think ain't got is the thing that got everything you need to get you where you need to get. And that's where you're blessed at. And the sad part is that some of y'all that went there, got what you needed to get, connected with it, still attached to it, won't disconnect from it, won't detach yourself from it, but you ain't giving nothing into it so that you can continue to go up in order that God bless you, but you still want to be attached, not connected. Because see, when you connected, you become a part of it and you live. But some of y'all just want to be attached. And then there are those of you that are not attached, but you're attached and connected to somebody that's connected to those types of ministries.
Amen.
But you want to be part of the big ones that's in the light. Broad is the road. Many that be that travel on. And that's why some of y'all are trampled on and not looked at. That's why some of y'all are overlooked. That's why some of y'all got to hold some of the programs that y'all hold. That's why some of y'all got to do some of the things so that you can be seen while you giving homage and while you giving glory to those that you say that you're a part of and that you're under. But ain't nothing that God called you to do is really being exemplified and exaltified before God, because everything is being taken in credit by the one you under.
Amen.
See, you want to be a part of those that you feel going to give you the money, but as they give you the money, they're taking more money from you than they give into you. I'm trying to help somebody today. I'm trying to heal somebody today. Well, Bishop, why are you doing that? Because this is what God required me to do. This is my job as the leader, as the apostle, to set it in order. If you don't believe it, check it. You can check me. Told you one of my favorite scriptures is 1 John chapter 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try every spirit, whether it be of God or not. One thing I thank God for is that He proven me to be real when it come down to giving what is prophetic and what needs to be dissertated to the people to bring them back in line. Not giving you a prophetic dissertation that says you're going to get, but give you a prophetic dissertation that says get back in line and follow what God said. Then God can now show you what He's going to give you.
Amen.
Come on, somebody. You don't believe it? Check the word. Check the word. That's sound doctrine. That's a part of it. So we offer Jesus to you. He said, take my yoke upon you and learn. See, I got to learn every day. I got to relearn every day. That's why Jesus' brother James said that ye teachers need to go back and be retaught and learn again. Uh-oh. Come on, y'all.
Amen.
If we're going to be included in everything, and we're going to have inclusion in anything, when anything is included in inclusion, there's some things that's got to be taken out. Because if everything is included and everything is inclusive, that means all go on where God is in it. You can say God is there because God is everywhere, but God is not a part of it because that means we're doing everything that God said we were to get rid of. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he's a new creature. If everything is included and all things is inclusive, then where's the new creature at? Uh-oh. You can say I'm challenging whoever doctrine you want, but I want to see you challenge the doctrine of God. Christ's doctrine. I'm sorry, I got to do what God telling me to do. He said, come. And then come in there some things. Why the wind's going to come. Why the waves going to come. Why life going to shake you up. See, when the water comes, can I tell you, when you begin to dump out the water that ain't got in, some of the stuff you got in there get thrown out with the water. Y'all didn't know that, did you? There's a reason why God wants you to grab a bucket and grab some pails and begin to bail some of the water out. It washes some of the stuff out that you wouldn't have took out yourself, so He allow your ship to get full. Because there are some places that you would have never washed, and some places that you didn't know, some places that you forgot about, and some places you couldn't reach. So the water that's filling in is really the Holy Ghost that has flooded your life. Uh-oh. I hear you, Holy Ghost. So come. He said, take my yoke upon you and learn of me. He said, for I'm low and meek and hearted. He said, in other words, I'm not hard to get along with. I'm not hard to understand. It ain't going to be hard for you to comprehend. You'll be able to catch it. He said, from low and hard. He said, look, he said, now my yoke is easy. He said, in other words, when you begin to put my word upon you, when you begin to live my life, when you begin to carry my lifestyle, when you begin to take on my mindset, he said, it ain't going to be a burden. When you begin to take on the burden of the world, when you begin to take on the lifestyle of the world, you got to keep up an image. You got to keep up a persona. You got to make sure you present yourself a certain way to them because they're looking for a certain thing. I'm looking for you to be who you are and allow me to see me. When you begin to put on all these other facets and passions and everything, I can't see myself. I do this. I don't see me. Uh-oh.
Come on.
He said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. Can you hear him knocking? You know, one of my favorite blues songs when I was listening at it on a regular basis, and I listen at it every now and then, and I listen at it for the messages that's in it. You know, Johnny Taylor said, I hear you knocking, but I can't stop to let you in. Denise LaSalle came back and she answered him from the female version, and she said the same thing. And God is saying, I'm knocking, but do you hear me? And some of us are telling him just like the blues song said, I hear you knocking, but I can't stop to let you in because you making love to your favorite song. You making love to your favorite man, your favorite woman. Some of y'all making love to a man and you're a man. Some of y'all making love to a woman and y'all a woman. Some of y'all got y'all threesomes going on. Some of y'all making love to the drugs that you love to get involved with. Some of y'all making love to all of the scandals that y'all got and all the mess that y'all done stirred up. Some of y'all making love to the alcohol that you got. Some of y'all making love to all of the church mess that you done stirred up in God's house. Can I help somebody? Because see, y'all thought I was just talking about natural stuff. Some of y'all stirred up mess with folk children. Got somebody's mama thinking their child is worthless and no good and ain't worth trying to fight to the... Come on, y'all.
Amen.
Some of y'all stirred up mess. They can love to just the mere fact that it's all about you. Well, ain't nobody worth nothing. You got a wife, you got a husband, and you're knocking your wife because it's about your career, it's about your image, it's about who you are, and you're making them have an image that looks like you and not like them. Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it. Vice versa. The wife is knocking the husband because he didn't finish high school, he didn't finish college, never went to college, or the husband doing the same thing. You bear down on that children. Come on, y'all. Come on. So Jesus said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. He said, if any man will hear my voice, you'd have heard his voice, but you didn't stop long enough to let him in. But then those that stopped to let him in, now you're mad at them because they ain't running to the same types of rides as living as you once did. We going home with this here. Because see, this is where deliverance. I told y'all, deliverance, healing, salvation. I know what God assigned me to do today. And here's where it's at. Because there's some things we got to let go. Well, you done came out of homosexuality, but you got urges and tendencies, but you ain't had no word to keep it under control. My Lord. You ain't no longer running around with different women, and you a man, and different men, and you a woman, and you done got one woman, and you a man, and one man, and you a woman, and now you done got married, but the hungers and the desires and the smell and the taste, you ain't even take the time to ask your wife or ask your husband to help you to wife, and the husband don't seem to understand, and they think that's what you still want, but they don't understand the struggle that's there because they think that's what you still want to do, and they ain't tried to become what? Come on, y'all, trying to help somebody. Well, tell my deliverance. Tell my salvation. See, not just because you said, Lord, I want you to come in my life. Jesus saved me in a dying hour. I want to be baptized. It's more than that because somebody needs to be saved from the mindsets that they have. The mentality, the emotions that they have, the psychosis that they're dealing with. Schizophrenia that they got because they think that their man still running around. Tendencies that they think their man still got, their woman still got. Come on, y'all, need y'all to get it. Bipolarness that they have because they think that something is said and they say it one way and they snap 50 different ways. Come on, y'all. Talk about healing and deliverance. See, we think healing and deliverance service is always, come here, baby girl, always grabbing some oil, pouring oil on their head, taking your hand. It ain't always about that. Can I tell you healing if you look it up and you're ready to find it? Speak to the lie. Speak to the lying tongue. Come on, y'all. Speak to the disobedience. And I'm not saying that in my daughter. I'm calling things out. Speak to the schizophrenia. Speak to the emotional distraught. Speak to the heartache. Speak to the pain. You ain't got to lay a hand on them. Speak to the digestive problems. Come on, y'all. Need y'all to get it. Speak to the cancer. Speak to the mind issues that are there. Hearing issues. I need y'all to get it. Come on. You can sit down. Told y'all God said healing, deliverance, and salvation. Now, in the process of that, can I tell y'all peace and strength come out of all of those three things? He said, come, now cry. You want to come out of what you're in? Come to him right now. We're going off the air with this. Now you done came, cry out. Tell him what it is. Forget about who around you. If you got to stop your car on the side of the road, in a safe place, I hope, I pray, not in the middle of traffic. Don't care what state you're in, whether you're on the Beltway, up in Baltimore, whether you on Spaghetti Junction here in Georgia, whether you're on the interstate in New Orleans, Texas, California, if that's where you at, pull over in a safe place if you feel that's what you got to do. If you in your yard and you hear God's voice, you're going to listen to this message. Share this message with somebody because somebody need to get delivered. Some leader need to recognize They need to shift how they're doing it, and the monies that they really want, they ain't got to put on all the gimmicks that they have to. God will cause it to come. Uh-oh. I just helped somebody. The reason why I just helped somebody is because that's what I felt in my spirit that God was telling me. Because, see, we spend so much time trying to make folk give instead of teaching folk what to give, how to give, and manage what they have so that they can give, and watch God cause an influx, and then you'll see a residual take place. Come, now cry. God bless you. Let's prepare for his broken body.